Okay, we're live and we are back, and this is Dr. Wu. In this video, we will continue with the 2015-2016 Form 2 first term examination, and we are proceeding to section 2. Now, you should already have the suggested answers. Those are in your Google Classroom. What I will do in this video is try to go through some of the answers, well, actually all the answers, and explain my reasoning. And maybe I can point out some things that might be worth revising for your examination. Here we go. Part A of section 2. So Janice's dog went missing one day. Below is a newspaper article about the event. Complete it by filling in the blanks with the correct forms of the verbs in brackets. So this will test your understanding of verb tenses. The pet owner named Janice Wong lost her dog in Hong Kong Park last Tuesday. Lost. And the key word or the key phrase is last Tuesday. So you know it happened in the past. So now we're talking about the past. It, what does it refer to? The dog was found wandering alone outside a commercial building in Central yesterday. Again, time phrase. Why was found? Well, this is a passive voice sentence. So the dog was found. We don't know who found the dog. That's beside the point. We're focusing on the dog. It was found yesterday in the past. The 2-year-old dog has light brown fur with white spots on its back. It appeared to be hungry and was looking for food in a rubbish bin. So it's not only past tense, it's past continuous tense. Why? Because we're talking about a continuous action at a specific time. So what was the dog doing yesterday when it was found? It was looking for food in a rubbish bin. Okay, so we're using the past continuous tense to refer to an action at a specific time. The dog was looked after by Mr. Chang last week while she was on a trip. So we know last week, past tense. We also know passive voice because we see the structure. Ms. Wong's neighbor, Mr. Zhang, looked after the dog. But the point of this sentence is to focus on the dog. The dog is the subject. So the dog was looked after by. Whenever you see by, it could indicate a passive voice sentence. So you will be tested on the passive voice. Last Tuesday, Mr. Zhang took the dog to the park. Took. How do we know? We see the time expression last Tuesday. So instead of seeing it at the end of a sentence, we see it at the beginning of a sentence, comma separated. It, the dog, all right, we refer to animals with it, not he or she. It was allowed, passive voice again, to sniff around on its own last Tuesday. So again, we know that Mr. Zhang allowed the dog to sniff around, but that's not important. The important thing is the dog. what the dog was allowed to do. Not that Mr. Jang allowed the dog, but the dog was allowed to. So this is another past tense passive voice sentence. When he, okay, Mr. Jang, Mr. Jang's sleeping. When he woke up, the dog was nowhere to be seen. It is believed that the dog followed another dog out of the park and went missing afterwards. The dog was saved when its owner brought it back home, when its owner brought it back home yesterday morning. This is a poorly worded sentence. Nonetheless, the answer is past tense, passive voice past tense. Yesterday morning. Okay. The dog was saved. It's not important who saved it. It's important. The focus of the sentence is on the dog. No one should be blamed. Wow. Another passive voice sentence. I will take good care of my dog. Why? Because we see the modal verb will. This is future tense. I will, in the future, take good care of my dog. So we follow modal verbs like will with the bare infinitive of the verb, that is take, will take, not took or takes, take. My dog is always active and playful. The key word is always. It's very stable, this characteristic. It's factual almost. So my dog is always active and playful. So in summary, in this part A, we were tested on active and passive voice and also on verb tenses, specifically present tense, past continuous tense, and past tense. Part B, proofreading. Sam was listening to a radio program about things to watch out for when staying at hotels in a foreign country. Read the radio script below. Put a tick if the underlined word is correct. If not, write the correct word in the spaces provided. Good evening. You are listening to RPHK Radio Channel 21. Today we are going to talk about strange things that could happen in hotels in any country. The most common of all is the belief that spirits will always appear in the rooms where or which are located at the end of a corridor. Here we go. 1. Why is this most? Because most is a comparison with everything. And the key word here is all, everything. Okay, more is used with a finite comparison. But most is of everything. And this is of everything. So the most common of all. 2. Why which or that? Because who is a relative pronoun for people, but rooms is not people. Rooms is a place or a thing. So this is either which or that. It could be either which or that because this is the defining relative clause. You don't see a comma, so this is necessary information. I'll say it again. You can use which or that because both refer to places or things, and you need a defining relative clause. And you know this is defining because there's no comma here. Let's keep going. Many people told me that they often experience something strange in a hotel room, such as hearing sounds coming from the closet. I believe that's correct. This is a present tense factual statement. Recently, while my brother and his friends I'd say were staying. Keyword is while. Okay, so I'm going to say were staying. It's definitely not stay because this happened in the past. So it's either between stayed or were staying. And I think while gives me the clue that this is a continuous period of time, and then something happens during this continuous period of time. Okay, so during the stay, so while my brother and his friends were staying, they were awakened one night by screams. Why were awakened? Because this is a passive voice structure. Screams awoke them, but the focus is on my brother and his friends. So number 5 should be were awakened. This is a passive voice sentence. And the key word here is by, because you actually see what did it. But while they opened the door, there was no one outside, the noises were gone. 6 should be when. Okay? When they opened the door. So we're talking about a particular instance, not a continuous action. When they opened the door, there was no one outside, noises were gone. It is believed that we should not book hotel rooms. This is correct. Why is this correct? Because we see the modal verb should, and then that should be followed by the bare infinitive or base form of the verb. And the base form of book is book. Okay, so book is a verb, the bare infinitive or the base form is book. Moreover, we should turn. Okay, so this, 7 and 8 are the same. That is, we see the modal verb should, so we should use the bare infinitive. But the bare infinitive of turn is not turned, it's turn. So we should turn on all the lights before going to bed. Finally, if you arrive at a hotel room and strange things start happening, you need to stay calm. So this is factual, both are present tense. Okay, you arrive, you need to stay calm. If you need more help, look at that. There's present tense here. There's present tense here. Okay. So actually, well, I think the present tense, just a final thought. This should be present tense, not least because these are instructions. So we can use present tense when delivering like factual instructions. Okay, part C, here we go. My strategy here is to guess the word and then to see if the option is available in the multiple choice. So I will guess and then see if it's available in the choices. Hi, Yuki. How's life? It has been a year since I visited you in Osaka. Since, oh great, good. So I understand that that word expresses an instance of time. Since introduces instances of time. Have you heard of the film Memoirs of a Geisha, or have you seen, or actually no, have you heard of? Let's try that. Have you heard? Oh, good. Here we are. So Dr. Wu's aware of this expression. Have you heard of? That's a good expression to memorize. Have you heard of the film Memoirs of a Geisha? I'm sure you know far better than I do what a geisha is. The film premiered last month, so I'm expecting some kind of verb about starting and past tense. So the film premiered last month. The film opened last month, okay, 3A, and was a box office hit. The leading female character was played by Ji Zhang. So this is another passive voice. Now it could be past tense or present tense, but it should be passive voice. No matter what, it should be passive voice because you see by. The focus is on the leading female character, 4. Okay, here it is played. So it's present tense, the leading female character is played by Ji Zhang. Let's go to paragraph 2. She's talented. She's a talented Chinese actress. She told the press that it was the first time she had played the role of a geisha. Past tense. She's not playing it now. Was. Okay, good. She had spent quite some time learning to act like a geisha before shooting. Now this should be past tense. This is a connective. Shooting, this is the subject. This should be the verb. Shooting began. Past tense. Okay, B, 6B, she began for the movie. When she was small, not while, use a connective about a period of time, let's say. When she was small, she took. And I think a key to this is seeing past tense in both clauses, when she was small. You don't see past continuous tense. So I think 7 is B. And the clue is past tense in both clauses. In 1996, she started to study at the Central Drama Academy, and I'm thinking began intensive drama training. I'm thinking past tense, because we know the period of time, 1996. She received, okay, so we see the simple past tense. She received intensive drama training. Number 9. She has starred in more than 20 films since 2001. Why has starred? Why present perfect? Because we see since 2001. So we see since. If you need another clue, remember, number 1 is since, and we see the present perfect tense. Okay. So in that entire time, from that time until now, that is, we'd use present perfect tense. She has performed 9C in more than 20 films. Finally, she said, if you want to succeed, you have to be hardworking. Okay, so this is another present tense. It's an instruction. It's a factual instruction. We see present tense here. I expect to see present tense in 10 as well. You have to be hardworking. Great, 10C. Okay, so that's it for section 2 grammar. And I'll see you guys later.